Hey everybody, welcome to Binky and Bell's Clubhouse. Today I have Melissa Smith from DipJar, and we'll be talking about DipJar. And who knows what DipJar is? Melissa, do you? Melissa, tell me what DipJar is.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks for having me. As you mentioned, I am Melissa. I work at DipJar, but I actually come from the nonprofit space. I worked at an animal shelter for about 4 years. And while I was there, I came across DipJar. And probably what all of you are thinking is, what the heck is a DipJar and what does that mean? What it is a credit card fundraising device. So think of it as the credit card version of your acrylic cash box or the wooden box that you have at your front desk or you take out to events. But DipJar allows you to capture those credit card donations instead. I think probably a lot of you are seeing, people when you're out at events, they're like, I don't have cash. Like, who carries cash anymore? Not me. I never do. I'm always like stressed if I'm going out somewhere. I'm like, oh crap, I don't have any money. DipJar helps you still get donations from those people by just saying, hey, you know what? No cash, no problem. Just dip your credit card right into the DipJar.
Awesome. Well, Binky and Bell just purchased ours. I mean, it's so new. This will be our first week that we're using it. So we're going to give it a run. And I guess there's certain things that I still have to learn. So could you just tell me how it works? I mean, it looks pretty simple. It's got my logo on it. And then there's a slot up here and it says American Express, MasterCard, Visa, and Discover. And it even shows how the credit card slides in the slot. So
yeah, so it's super simple. Like you said, it's customized to each organization. So you can put your logo on the front, or if it's not your logo that you want, anything we can print right on the front of that jar. And it's as easy as plugging it in and setting it up and putting it out on the table. So you can choose the dollar amount on the DipJar device. We very often recommend starting at the $10 and $15 range. And then if you're taking out to an event or heading to your gala, you can always go in on the back end and up that amount. If you're at a formal gala, maybe try it at $25, $50, depending on the type of event that you're going to. But it's very simple. Like you said, it accepts all the credit cards. So somebody just walks up, they're like, hey, I want to make a donation. They take their credit card out, quite literally dip it into the jar. The jar will light up, make a fun noise, all that good stuff. They take their credit card out and boom, they've donated. That's that.
So if I set this to $10 and someone wanted to donate $50, what would they have to do?
We call that double dipping or 5-time dipping, I guess. So it's as simple as just dipping their credit card more than once. We don't recommend changing the amount between donors. But, if you're thinking, hey, this is going to be a larger event and you want to have multiples, that's sometimes when we recommend getting 2 to 3 dip jars set up, because then you can have them set at maybe a $10 mark, a $50 mark, and maybe 75, so that you're reaching everyone and nobody feels uncomfortable. Like, okay, I'm not comfortable making a $50 donation, but I'm good with the $10 dip jar. I'll go over there and make my donation there.
Awesome. So if I donate my $10 on my DipJar, what does my credit card look like when I go look at my statement? How does that show up?
Yeah, so it's going to show up as $10 as a $10 donation. And what you'll see is DJP, which is DipJar, like our thing, and then it'll dash in the organization's name that you donated to. So
okay,
it's very easily
identifiable. Mine would say Binky and
identifiable.
Bell or Binky. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's very easy to identify for the donor. If they're looking back and they're like maybe at a big event, they can't remember, like, what is this $10 charge from? They can check right on the card and it's going to have the organization's name. So they know exactly what that was.
Awesome. So it seems real easy. Can you tell me what are the benefits for an artist like myself or a nonprofit that's raising money for either like animal welfare or some other nonprofit organization? How does it pay for itself in the long term?
Yeah, so we see a number of ways that it's beneficial. I think if we see a lot of organizations, especially animal shelters, because they have the benefit of having an actual physical location that people are coming to and visiting. Plus, I think the extra tie of the emotional, with seeing the animals and seeing the work that the organization's doing, having the dip jar right there in front of them at the lobby, they can make that quick donation. Like it's capturing that donation in that emotional point for the donor. So it's not like just hoping like, okay, they came, they saw everything that we're doing, and then they'll get an email later hoping that they donate. You lose the emotional connection with the donor. So if you can capture and get them to donate right then and there, it's great. It's another great thing to take it out to events because it's wireless connection. So anywhere you can plug it in or use the portability kit, taking it out to an event, put it up on your table and people can make a donation right there. You give them your like 30-second elevator pitch of what your organization does, or they're visiting in an exhibit. Like if you're thinking in the artist side, like visiting an exhibit and they want to support the work you're doing, it's right then and there. It's not clumsy pulling out a checkbook. I don't carry checks. Probably don't know where my checkbook is, but I have my credit card with me. And so I can make the donation and support the cause right then and there, nice and quick. It's not fumbling with the credit card back and forth, running it through your credit card reader device and handing over a tablet saying, okay, can you sign this? And it makes it feel transactional. DipJar is really enabling you to just keep it within the donor experience and making it an engaging and fun process that they're going to remember.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to using DipJar. We've got some events this week and into the future. And what our plans are, obviously, is to support local rescues and shelters with DipJar. And at each event that we do, we always pick out a rescue or shelter to support. So, for example, this week we'll be helping the folks from Freedom Ride Rescue and the folks from Cause for Paws and Love Mutts. They're all here in the Raleigh area, but awesome work. We really appreciate the renovation, the innovation that you've created with DipJar. And so there are a couple new things coming out eventually. Is that right? On
Yes.
DipJar? So
yeah, so we're really excited. We've taken the time, I think, with COVID happening, it really allowed us to kind of sit back as a team and think about what are the next steps for DipJar as a company and what are we hearing from our customers that we want to improve upon? And one of those is going to be a new DipJar device. We're super excited. It's going to be hopefully hitting the market later this fall. It's all up to the engineers at this point, but it's going to be a great new device that's going to allow you to change the donor amount. It's going to have a fun touch screen, just make it more engaging, and it's going to accept tap to pay and all those new things in a new device. So we're super excited for that. I think it's going to be a great improvement. We're still going to sell the classic DipJar device because it's fun. It's kind of our Herbie the Love Bug device. We're very excited for DipJar 2.0.
Well, thank you, Melissa. Greatly appreciate what you've done and what you're doing for nonprofits and artists and everyone that is going to be using DipJar in the future. So I'm going to post a link to some more information about DipJar, and feel free to reach out to me or Melissa. We'll put her contact information with the post. And all I can say is peace, love, adopt a dog or a cat, right? You have a cat there at home, right?
Yes, I've got 4 running around me.
All right. Have a great day, Melissa. Thank you.